Welcome to this episode on fiduciary duties in agency law. I'm Professor Seth C. Oranburg, and today we're going to examine the special responsibilities that agents owe to their principals and how those duties shape the principal-agent relationship. Fiduciary duties are at the heart of agency law. They ensure that trust and accountability are maintained throughout the relationship. So let's start with what fiduciary duties mean. A fiduciary duty is a legal obligation of one party, the agent, to act in the best interests of another party, the principal. The obligation goes beyond ordinary contractual duties because it requires the agent to prioritize the principal's interests over the agent's own interest. And I mean that even at a personal cost, the agent must serve the principal. According to the Restatement Third of Agency, Section 8.01, and I quote, "An agent has a fiduciary duty to act loyally for the principal's benefit in all matters connected with the agency relationship," end quote. The key words here are act loyally and for the principal's benefit. So let's unpack what that looks like in practice. First, there's the duty of loyalty. This ensures that the agent acts with the principal's best interests in mind at all times. An agent can't take opportunities that rightfully belong to a principal, and an agent can't involve themselves in activities that conflict with the principal's goals. Imagine a corporate officer who learns about a lucrative business opportunity through their role in the company. If the officer pursues that opportunity for personal gain instead of presenting it to the company for which they work, they've breached the duty of loyalty. Next is the duty of care. The duty of care is outlined in the Restatement Third of Agency, Section 8.08. This section states that agents must act with the care, competence, and diligence that is typically exercised by agents in similar circumstances. So it's a reasonable standard. In other words, agents must perform their tasks to a professional standard. For example, if a real estate agent fails to disclose critical information about a property, information that a competent agent would know, they've likely breached their duty of care. Another critical duty is the duty of obedience. Agents must follow their principal's lawful instructions, even if they personally disagree with them. This doesn't mean an agent has to obey illegal directives, and unethical directives are a gray area. But within the scope of the law, the principal's instructions take priority. For instance, if a principal tells an agent to negotiate a deal with specific terms, the agent can't disregard those terms and propose something different without the principal's consent. Agents also owe a duty to provide information to the principal. Restatement Third of Agency, Section 8.11, emphasizes that agents must disclose material facts to the principal when those facts are relevant to the agency relationship. For example, if an employee discovers a potential risk in a project they're managing, they're obligated to inform their employer of the risk, and they have to do this as soon as possible. Now, these fiduciary duties create a framework for trust and accountability, but they also have limits. Principals owe corresponding duties to agents, such as compensating them for authorized expenses. And principals have to act in good faith to support the agency relationship, for example, by supplying necessary information so the agent can do their job. This balance ensures that neither party takes advantage of the other. So let's explore a hypothetical scenario to see how these duties play out. Imagine a talent agent representing an actor. The agent is negotiating a movie deal on behalf of the actor, but the studio offers the agent a personal financial incentive to steer the actor toward less favorable terms. If the agent accepts the deal, they've breached their duty of loyalty by prioritizing their own personal interests over the actor's interests. Additionally, the agent's failure to disclose this conflict of interest would violate the duty to provide information. Why do these fiduciary duties matter? Because they protect the integrity of the principal-agent relationship. They ensure the principal's reliance on the agent is justified, and they allow principals to hire agents knowing that the law will protect the relationship. Without these duties, agency relationships could easily devolve into disputes and mistrust, undermining their purpose. So to wrap up, let's review the key points. Fiduciary duties, loyalty, care, obedience, and information form the backbone of agency law. These duties ensure that agents act in the principal's best interests and uphold the trust placed in them. At the same time, principals have corresponding duties to support the relationship. Understanding these obligations helps prevent breaches and creates a more effective and ethical agency dynamic. In the next episode, we'll discuss how agency relationships are terminated and the legal consequences of ending those relationships. But until then, try to think about a situation in your own life where someone relied on you to act in their best interests, or where you relied on someone else. How did trust and accountability play a role in those relationships? Did you think you had legal recourse if you were treated unfairly or if that person put their interests above yours? Thank you for listening, and I'll see you next time.